drank myself. I had too much to drink. And also, the sick is, like, my throat hurts so bad. And my camera was next to me. I just checked to see if I did, like, a drunk rant. I did it. So, I don't know why my camera was next to me, but it was. And I swear I thought it was later than this. It's only 8:56. No gym today. My throat is burning. Y'all, I had a good time. One thing about me, I don't have a good time like that. Like, you know, I very much temper myself, but we had a fucking boy. Okay. And I mean, like, just conversation, drinks, food. Like, we went to dinner. We split a bottle of wine. This is the second day in a row I split a bottle of wine. I don't want no more wine for the rest of the month, which is 2 days. We split a bottle of wine. We had dinner. I had a mushroom risotto. It was really good. We left. We went to this place called Money Gun, which is like a popular place. Like, it's a mix of people. It's white people, black people, young people. Me and my friends still go. So it's just like one of those places. But they be packed. They be having a line. But we went a little early, like old people. So we went to Money Gun. We had drinks. We had 2 drinks. I had 2 martinis. So we split a bottle of wine at dinner. Then I had 2 martinis. He had 2 old fashions. Then we tried to go to this cocktail bar called Bisu, but it was a line. We was like, we're not doing no line. So I can't even remember the name of the place, but I ain't never been in there. Like, I walk past it all the time, but I've never been in there. I'll get the name when I walk past it again, because it was actually really dope. Like, it was a nice place. But it was really expensive. It was like what's the word I'm looking for? Like, not fancy cocktails, but like experimental cocktails. I guess that's fancy, but them motherfuckers 35, 38, like those type of cocktails. And they had a very limited wine menu. They only sold like half bottles of wine and like half bottles of champagne. So we ended up getting a half bottle of champagne, which is like 2 glasses, a glass and a half a piece, which was plenty. And then we ended up ordering fried chicken, like nugget. They had like lemon pepper fried chicken nuggets with caviar. So we ordered 2 orders of that. Yeah, we literally it was a good fucking time. Like, it was a good time. It's just, like I said, it's my homeboy. He has a girlfriend. It's my podcast co-host, twin brother. He's in town for work or whatever. But it was a good time. And like, this is my thing about like dating, and I tell people this all the time. Like, the quality of like men, friends and associates that I have, right? Absolutely, like, it doesn't dictate the type of, like, the way that I date. I've always had my dating standards because I've always dated niggas that wanted to show me a good time, period. I refuse to let niggas lower the bar for spending time with me. When I go out with my friends and I go to dinner, and I made him let me buy drinks and money. I'm like, you gotta let me pay for something, because for me, when people that, like my friends, people from college, stuff like that, when they come into town, I typically, if we link, I'm typically taking them out to dinner or out for drinks or whatever, because that's just how it, like, that's etiquette for me. Like, if you come in town, we link, you visiting, I'm taking you out. If I come in town, we link, I'm visiting, you take me out. For me, that's etiquette. I mean, you don't have to. If you don't, and I end up paying my own, I won't like hold it against you. But for me, personal, that's my personal ethos. But like when we were at dinner, I tried to pull my card out. He said, I know motherfucking well you not pulling your card. He was like, I know motherfucking well you not pulling your card out. And, you know, I just giggled or whatever and like moved my hand. He was like, you could buy drinks at the next spot. I'm like, okay. But then we went to the third spot. He was like, I got this. Like, so I say that to say, like, he took care of transportation. So our Ubers from place to place. He took care of them. Dinner, he took care of it. Like I said, I only bought drinks because I was like, I gotta pay something. Like, so, you know, but he took care of the entire night, and that's my homeboy. And that's how all my homeboys roll. Like, that's how all my, like, even my homeboys with girl, like, you know what I'm saying? I was telling the story once how I was in Miami for my homegirl's boyfriend's birthday, and it was a group of us, and it was 4 couples and me. I was the only, no, it was 3 couples and me, and then one of our other homeboys, he popped in for a little bit. We all went out to eat. The men pay. I never opened. I don't care if I didn't have nobody there with me. I never took out, there was no way that I was like paying for a meal when all of the other women was being taken care of by their men. Like, that's not how that works. That's why I refuse to lower my standards, because even my homeboys, even my male associates, college mates, people like that, like, why would I let you take me out when my homeboy literally just took me to dinner, split a bottle of wine, we went for drinks, and then we went and had caviar and champagne? Why would I let a nigga take me on a coffee date? Huh? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? It's never going to happen, because it's not normal. Like, man was even having a conversation last night. I was like, it's so weird. We were talking about how, like, social media has, like, reshaped a lot of things or whatever. And we started talking about dating, and I was like, it's so weird to see young women, like, cheat themselves out of not necessarily experiences, but, like, lower the bar for access to entry to them, because social media has told them, oh, coffee date makes sense. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? It's lower stakes. Like, it's easier to get out. I'm like, a coffee shop got a door just like a restaurant got a door. If you're not having a good time, you excuse yourself and you get up and leave. The problem is people don't like conflict. I don't give a fuck if I was at a coffee shop, I was at church. I don't care where I am. If I'm not feeling comfortable and having a good time in a situation, I'm going to leave. I don't give a fuck where I'm at. So it doesn't, you know, it don't make sense to me. To each their own. I hear the point of, like, low stakes. I think that is an excuse. I think that is a low barrier of entry for somebody to experience you, and you should require more. That's just me personally. Now, we were talking yesterday. He was like, now, I do enjoy a lunch date, like, over a dinner date. Not because it's low stakes, but because it's a little less effort, so a woman doesn't feel pressured to, like, you know, dress up and do all of that type of stuff, whatever. We could just meet for lunch, and you could be, like, casual cute. You don't have to be, like, pull out all the stops, like, we just meeting or whatever. He was like, but I would never take a woman for coffee. I'm gonna take you somewhere where we can have, you know, nice drinks. If that's something that you do, you can have, like, a nice meal. We can talk. I'm like, and that's another thing. I hate when people say you can't get to know nobody. You can't get to know people at lunch. You can't get to know people at dinner. I'm like, why can't you get to know people at dinner? Why don't I just make this a Sunday chat? I'll upload this today. Why can't this be dinner? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that don't, I mean, dinner. Why can't this be, what was I saying, y'all? But anyway, he did say that he would prefer to, like, go to lunch over dinner, and maybe it's a little easier to leave a lunch date if it's weird. And I told him, I just feel like people are a lot nicer than I am, because here's the thing: if I'm not enjoying myself, I am going to leave. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you going to do? I've been on a date where I was like, oh, I'm not having a good time, I'm going to go ahead and head out. And literally that's what I told him. He told me a story about him being on a date with a girl. He was like, it was just, you know, he was like, oh, that's what I was saying. Hold on, I'll back it up Terry to that. When people be like, oh, you know, you can't hold a conversation in a a restaurant, you can't get to know each other. I'm like, that's bullshit. Like, that's bullshit. I'm literally sitting across, and usually when I'm on a date, especially if it's like the second or third date, I'm the same side of the booth, bitch. Like, I like to be up on you, you know, make you feel special, even if I don't really like you like that. It's about the experience of the date. But I was like, we're in this conversation in this restaurant having a very robust conversation. Like, the conversation is robust. We just talked about careers. We just talked about life. We just talked about, you know, where we want to move next. Like, we've talked about like all of these different things. And I hear you fine. And the conversation is great. Like, if I were on a date with you, this would be a perfect date conversation. I'm like, I just feel like, I want to brush my teeth before I went. Y'all, this is all, yes, I'm definitely uploading this for a Sunday chat because this is hilarious. But it's just like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are y'all talking about? Y'all are just making excuses because you have lowered the barrier of entry to access you, and you're trying to make excuses for it. You can't change my mind. I respect your, if you're a coffee day, if you're, I don't mind going on a walk, I don't mind. If you're that type of person, I respect it. I would not, if you say, oh, I went on a date, our first date was coffee day, I wouldn't be like, bitch, what the fuck? I would never do it because I have tact and decorum. I would never do that. But this is my platform and my video, and I'm saying, I wouldn't judge you, but I'm judging you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't verbally be like, girl, what the fuck? Or if you were like, oh, he asked me on a coffee date and I'm going, I would be like, that's dumb. Don't go on I would never discourage people's choices like that. But in this conversation, I'm saying, really think about, I got a comment on a video that I made yesterday, and I'm about to read this comment to y'all because it could be applied to so much stuff. It could be applied to so much stuff. Hold on. I made a video about a series of videos that somebody that I'm mutuals with on TikTok has been making about women and autonomy and agency, and how a lot of women cosplay like being really autonomous and being really decisive about things like, and I wouldn't say cosplay, but I would say that their choices aren't as ironclad as they make them out to be. They're just waiting on what they consider the right man to come and change their mind. Like, there are a lot of women that are like, I'm child free. You know, I don't got no kids. I'm child free by choice. But it's really, I'm child free by choice until ... right? Until I meet a man that can change my mind. Right? Which is, I guess, autonomy, because you were like, I'm not having a baby with anybody. But I said in the video that I made, like, for me, that argument falls flat when the idea of having children is predicated on how well-meaning or well-deserving you think a man is to have a child with you. Because I feel like if you want to have children, you should want to have children because you want to have children, meaning you would do it under any circumstances, i.e. do it, or e.g. Is I or e.g. Anyway, you will do it alone, right? If you ask any woman, if not any, that's a lie, because some women really do just want to be parents, and I don't want to take that from women who actually just really do want to be mamas so much that they would do it alone. There are women that would do it alone, so let me correct myself for that. But a lot of women, if you ask them if they would be a mother if they had to do it alone, they would say no. Then you need to interrogate whether you really want to be a mom, because put cheating and divorce and breaking up and all that stuff aside, people die, people get sick, right? People lose their jobs. There may be times where you have to be the sole provider, the sole everything. Are you prepared to do that as it relates to a child, right? And I told a story about how, like, so what my mutual, her point is saying in that video, what she was saying is that a lot of men think that, because somebody had left her a comment on one of her videos that being like, men think they can change their mind. And she was like, the reason men think they can change their mind, and then insert what I just said about women whose choices are predicated on meeting a man, right? And I was like, that's until they meet a woman like me who is very resolute, and I'm not having no kids with you, and I marriage is not off the table for me, but I'm just not marrying you for the sake of like ticking a box. Like, I don't need that to be in a happy relationship, and I'm definitely not having no fucking kids. And there are just, and I'm like, there are smaller things that I would like stop talking to a man for. And I gave a story about a man that I was dating that had a big ass dog. He had a bull mastiff. And when we met, we were like on FaceTime, and he was like showing me his dog, and I literally was like, I will never come to your house because you got the biggest dog, and I don't like dogs, and I really don't fucking like big dogs. Like, it's never happening or whatever. He was like, oh, you'll change your mind. And I was like, actually, I'm telling you, actually I won't. So we dated for a couple months or whatever, and he would always have to like come to my house because I'm not going to your house and you got the big ass dog. I'm just not doing it. It's not happening, right? So one day he was like, you should come to my house or whatever, because obviously I live in an apartment. I live in little ass apartments. That's a big ass grown ass man. He live in a house. He has a beautiful house. Like, it would be more comfortable for us to just like, you know, lazy around his house. He had a nice backyard, kitchen, garden, all this type of stuff. And I always just like, oh, I want to cook in that kitchen garden. I want you to like grow, like, you know, we would always talk about it, but he has that dog. So one day he was like, you should come over. We can hang out in the garden. We can, you know, grill. And I was like, I'm not coming over. Like, what you gonna do with your dog? Where your dog going? He was like, what you mean? Where he going? Like, this is his house. He gonna be up. I said, exactly. Which is exactly why I told you I would never come to your house, because that's that dog's house. What I look like that's a big ass dog. What I look like asking you to pin it up in a room or a cage or something every time I come over there. I literally told you I would never come to your house. Did you think I was? That was literally the last time he talked to me, because what the fuck you think this is? I was not playing with you. Like, that was a hard, like, boundary for me. And I'm sticking to that boundary. Like, I don't do fucking animals. And he literally tried to give me an ultimatum last time he heard from me. Because what the fuck you think this is? You think I was going to change my mind? I'm afraid of the dog. I'm not coming over there. But anyway, let me get to because the video is getting long. But on this video, this girl left a comment. And she said, the question ultimately becomes, when it comes to having children, it is a declaration. I mean, is it a declaration or is it a resolution? Those are two very different things. A declaration reminds you of your sovereignty and keeps you on your path to your authentic self. Whereas a resolution is more of, this is where I am because I really have not encountered what it is that I really want, and I'm low-key scared to declare a preference for myself. So this is where I've landed. They are not the same. Do you really not want to have kids? Is that your declaration? Or are you saying, I don't want to have kids as a resolution because you don't think, or you have not achieved or encountered the person, the lifestyle, the whatever that would aid to you having the thing, right? And you can insert like children, you can insert whatever. I think that was a W-ass comment. Her name is Jamila the therapist. Actually, let me go follow Jamila. Her name is Jamila the therapist. Oh, she's a therapist, of course. But that was W. I actually want to make a video highlighting that comment because I just was like, girl, what the fuck? Of course she's a therapist. But her name is Jamila the therapist on TikTok. And I just thought that like I was like, girl, I wish I could repost a comment. I wish I could repost a comment, which I can't. I could just what's the word that I'm looking for? Make a video about it. But that was a W-ass comment. W-ass comment. W-W-W-W-ass comment. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that is it. I didn't say welcome to Sunday Chat, but thank y'all for coming to Sunday Chat, because I'm going to upload this to Sunday Chat instead of putting it in the vlog, which I originally intended to do, because it turned into a great conversation. I'm sorry that I am in this video looking like a potato, but I have wine and caviar and champagne still swishing in my stomach because I have not used it. So thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the vlog on Wednesday. I did get ready in the vlog, kind of a little bit. So you'll see a little bit of that. But thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I am about to brush my teeth again because I swear I brushed my teeth before I went to sleep. But I was also drunk, so I probably didn't do a good job. I feel like a lot of stuff is on my tongue right now. I feel disgusting. That was TMI for y'all, but this is also an impromptu video. I don't know what y'all want me to do. What do you want me to do? Okay. But thank y'all so much for watching, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye. Maybe I'll take a, what time is it? I'll take like a 45-minute nap, and then I'll get up. Okay, y'all. Bye.